Today, for a case study, we will be examining the Ile Oya Afefe Osa Meji temple based in Baltimore, Maryland. It was founded by Afefe Oyedele Ugunsina, who will be the subject of our interview in this video. In doing so, we will focus on how this temple has adapted to 21st century technological advancements, whether for the better or worse, while maintaining the meaningful practices of African traditional religions that are deeply rooted in the past.
My name is Olori Oyedele Ogunshina. I am a Isheshe Agbaye priestess, meaning I am an Orisha priestess. I'm also an Egungun, which is ancestral priestess, and an Iyanifa, which is a female Ifa initiate, priestess. I've been on this journey since the mid-90s. I've been initiated to the Egungun Society, which is the ancestral society, in Oyotunji African Village, is down in Sheldon, South Carolina, in 98. 99, I went to Dahomey, known as Benin Republic, to get initiated to Oya. In 2000, I went back to get initiated to Shango. In 2014, I got initiated to Ifa. And in 2000, I was coronated as a queen in Benin Republic. So in Fon, my Fon name is La Reine Akowendo, which means one who bridges cultures from across the water. So basically, I was tasked to bring those Africans who live in a diaspora to build a relationship with the indigenous brothers and sisters of Africa, so that we all could come together. My journey is such that when I was coming up in college, we did not have internet, so now I'm really telling my age. We did not have Google, we did not have Wikipedia, anything like that. You wanted to learn about African spirituality, you basically had to find someone who practiced that belief system. And you had to basically sit at their feet and learn all that you could. When I was coming up, meaning when I was searching for a belief system to join, back during that time, you only had really in the DC area, because I was living in Washington, DC in the mid-90s. You had a Sarset, which is out of Kemet or Egypt. You had Akan, which is one of the indigenous religions of the Akan people of Ghana. And then you had Yoruba, which was the religion out of Nigeria. Yoruba is a misnomer because no one now says that they are a Yoruba initiate. Now that people have become educated, they say they practice Isheshe Akbaye, which is the traditional name of Ifa Orisha worship. Ifa is the foundation, and from which that all other traditional West African and Afro-Caribbean religions stem from. So for example, out of Ifa came voodoo, African voodoo. When the Africans were captured during Ma'afa, which is the African slave trade, and they were transported and dropped off at different areas in the Caribbean, the religion changed. The land dictated how that particular religion would be practiced. So in Cuba, it's known as La Regla de Ocha or Lukumi or Santeria. In Haiti, it's Haitian voodoo. In Brazil, it's Candomblé. In Trinidad, it's known as Shango Baptist. In Dominican Republic, it's called 21 Divisions. In Jamaica, is known as Obia, and so forth and so on. But the foundation is Ifa religion.
One of the rituals that Afefe Oyedele Ogunsina has studied and practiced at length is Ifa. Ifa is a divination system that originated in the Yoruba culture in the Western African region that is today Nigeria. This system of divination involves a bokor, a traditional priest or priestess, interpreting a set of 256 kapoli, predetermined symbols, which are laid down on a special tray. The symbols can take the form of pebbles or stones and the meaning of their arrangement is unknown to everyone except the Bokor, who uses his or her ability to communicate with the spirits or the living dead to decode the symbols, which usually convey a story or proverb that is meant to demonstrate a solution to the problem of the client. Ifa divination is common in the West African tradition of Vodou, or Voodoo, and there are thousands of practitioners, including Mrs. Ogunsina, who look to Ifa as a means of alleviating an issue that is affecting them.
Ile Oya Afefe Osa Meji means the spiritual house of the women. And basically, because I am initiated to be Orisha Oya and Shango, I always tell my godchildren, we move with spirits. Basically, first and foremost, we do revere the ancestors. Because of enslavement, unfortunately, there are so many African American ancestors who have not been fully uplifted and sent to the white. We've been going to different cemeteries and uplifting those ancestors who have been enslaved or who may have died, say, during Jim Crow and segregation, and sending them to the whites. It's tedious, but knowing that they are gone but not forgotten means a lot, because the biggest atrocity you can commit to your ancestors is to forget them once they have passed. So we try not to forget them. When I was a young ancestral priestess, meaning young in my priesthood, so I was probably under like 3 years, I had, and this is just as the internet started, I had printed out a book about this thick, full of names of people who had died through lynchings and other atrocities up into the time James Byrd, I don't know if you remember him, who was lynched, well, he was dragged to his death. When I heard about that, I said, I want to do something for those spirits. So I started with, after our emancipation, so around 1865, up into James Byrd, we did a ritual, which was like a 3-day ritual where we had to call each name 3 times to make sure they went to the light. And so once I started that, then that got me going on a quest to continually to uplift those souls, especially those ancestors who are wayward, whose family don't call their names, they don't remember them. They're trying to get to the light, but they don't know how to get to the light. That's what my Ile has been doing. Dealing with the Orisha side, people will come to me with different needs. You know, some people have loved ones incarcerated. They need them to get out. Some have missing loved ones they're looking for. Some want to hear from deceased loved ones. Some have spirits in their homes. They need banishments of spirits. Some need exorcisms. You know, they have a demon inside of them or bad spirits, so they need that. Some are just looking for a job. They need to be spiritually cleaned. They need to do rituals so that they can find a job or find love, maybe get pregnant. You know, I do what I can do, and what I can't do, I will send them to someone else who can do it. I just ask that the person be humble to spirit, that they be open to criticism and to learning. You'd be surprised, a lot of times people will Google certain things. They go on YouTube, and then they want to flex and tell you what all they know. But when it comes time to actually going to work, they don't want to listen because they think they know more than you, because they, graduated from YouTube College or Google University. So far, my Ile is predominantly African American. It's predominantly women. The few men that I have had throughout the years, they come and they go. A lot of times men will come, and if they come with a hidden agenda, the other godchildren will see that and tell them this isn't the place for you. Anyone who comes to me, if I am taking godchildren at the time, I do divine to see if it will bring them ray, meaning blessings, to be under my spiritual care, and vice versa. You know, I don't take anyone who is just looking to get rich quick, because this isn't a get rich quick belief system. You actually have to do the work. Prior to technology, everything was word of mouth. Nothing was written. There was no Zoom. There was no phone calls, none of that. You either sat before the person, you got your divination, you had to come in person to get your work. Once the shutdown or the quarantine happened, my services took off like a rocket. I was so busy with clients, it was unbelievable. Prior to quarantine, I did have a botanica here in Baltimore, and I had clients who would come in, they would get readings, I would do their spiritual work. But once the quarantine hit, clients didn't have no issues about me doing the reading over the phone. So it has worked to my betterment. What I don't like is some of the things that I see on social media. I call, new age witches, people who just got into the belief system yesterday. They want to show their shrines, their altars, their spiritual work. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people out here who will take that information and use it against you. Technology does work, but in our belief system, showing secrets, no. Someone who is not a priest or priestesses should not know what is inside of a pot. They should not see animal sacrifice. So I have an issue with that. I do understand that sometimes you want to educate people, but people have to do like we've done back in the day. You're going to have to find a spiritual house and humble yourself, learn, and hope that you get taught in a timely fashion so that you can see the things for yourself. So technology is good if it is used properly, because then you are able to reach out to the masses and get the word out. So people don't think that, oh, she practices an African religion, and in the back of their mind, all they're thinking is voodoo. Our belief system is more than just voodoo. Voodoo means spirit. It's not a negative thing. But when you have Hollywood that shows you the negative side, you don't see the beautiful side. If Hollywood is going to produce movies, please show the deities in a positive light. It's harder because you have a lot of people who see Beyonce, and they're like, oh, I'm a child of Oshun because I wear yellow and I look cute. Or they may watch American Gods and they want to tap into that Shango energy. But it's the Orisha are more than that.
Yanifa Ogunsina Yaderle mentions she was initiated into Shango and Oya, only some Orisha of many. Orisha are spirits that are sent to guide humans to be creative and show them how to live and be successful on Earth. It's believed that most Orisha were part of the spirit world and then became human beings on Earth. However, others believe that Orisha are humans that have accomplished great achievements and as soon as they die are considered deities. Orisha are based on ancestor worship, and the main belief associated with them is that daily life depends on one's awareness of the soul. Some well-known Orisha are Oshun, who we have studied in detail and is an important river deity. She is the goddess of divinity, fertility, femininity, beauty, and love. Another one is Oya, who is the Orisha of the winds, lightning, and violent storms, death, and rebirth. And finally, Shango is an Orisha of power and dominance. He's considered one of the most important rulers of Yoruba land.
It's hard. It's really hard. People need to really educate themselves, find a good teacher to learn. Don't believe everything that you read on the internet or see on social media, because you're only getting one side of the story. And a lot of times that side may not be the correct side. other than it's nice if you can have the person sitting before you, but if you are connected to spirit, you can read anywhere. One of the good things about doing readings over the phone is that that individual is not in your personal space. You don't know what kind of spirit is on that individual. I don't need that person to come, and when they leave a spirit in my house. So that's creating more work for me. I don't need that headache. With COVID and doing divinations over the phone, it's easy to me. I almost prefer it that way, because if you are spiritually astute and you can pick up on people and the type of energy that they are carrying with them, you kind of know what is going on without the person having to divulge everything about them as to why they're coming before you today to get a divination. What you need is the name, date of birth, and their mother's name. So Spirit knows that you are speaking about that person and solely that person. We do try to roll with the times and go with modern technology. Because my godchildren are spread out, the majority of them are in the DMV, but for the ones who are out of town, when I teach on Margo. We have Viber, which is a chat form that we speak to one another daily. Viber, basically, it's almost like a chat session that is always going. With Margo, I can gauge how they are doing by looking at them. So if you are familiar with Marco Polo, it's basically video. And so they'll come on and say good morning, or they may, wave. And I can see if it is a good morning or if there's something that's really going on that they really didn't want to verbalize, and then I can reach out to them that way. So those are the pluses with respect to technology, because it allows me to reach those godchildren who don't live in the DMV. Traditional African belief systems, as old as it is relevant today. Keep in mind, because in Yoruba we don't have a concept of heaven and hell, we hold to a higher standard, I should say. In my belief system, I can't be out here wilding out. I can't be posting inappropriate videos on social media, me twerking, me doing busted challenges, none of that stuff. At my age, if I drop it like it hot, it's going to stay on the ground. I can't. Because I'm so high up on the spiritual echelon, and I have physical eyes that are on me, meaning my godchildren, my immediate family. I have a son, he's a sophomore in college. There's a lot that I have to answer to, and I also have spiritual eyes on me. So if I'm doing something that will call me to the carpet by my benevolent ancestors or by the Orisha or deities, that says a lot. So I tell people, you always want to not act in a manner that would bring shame to your crown, meaning who you are initiated to, bring shame to your ancestors, or bring shame to your Ile, your spiritual house, or your family. You are held to a standard where, if it is done correctly, if you are humble, if you do as you are told, the benefits are bountiful. The benefits are plenty. E5, the belief system, has spread out all over the world. So if you are searching for a belief system to join, don't look to what the masses are doing. Don't be like monkey see, monkey do. Follow what's in your heart. If you are drawn to a particular belief system, if it brings you peace, if it brings you happiness, if your life has improved because
because of it, then you keep going.
In our video, Ianifa Olori shows us the detriments and benefits of technology for her temple, including virtual divinations and the portrayal of African traditional religions on social media. Additionally, she offers a glimpse into modern traditional practices of African spirituality in the DMV area, affirming that these traditions are very much still alive today. Thank you for watching.